All right.
Oh, that's too good, man.
Let's get started today. We got the thumbs up from Ariel, so we are going. We got producer Ariel in the studio.
What happened to Mark?
I don't know. He was on one podcast. His head got too big. He's like, I don't need to produce anymore. I'm now.
He went off to Hollywood.
Star.
Mark went off to Hollywood.
Jeez.
No. No, Mark is still with us. He's just, on vacation or something?
I don't know. Oh, yeah.
No one knows. Ariel's shaking her head.
He was chatting in Teams right before we started this podcast, so he's working on vacation. That's dedication. We have an amazing guest for you guys today. You know, we met this gentleman a couple weeks ago, and we were so excited within like minutes of talking to him. Like,
blown away.
Man, we have to get you on our podcast to share with our audience what he's doing. He is Joe Kenemore. He is the CEO of BannerSeason, a platform that you can use to stay in touch and top of mind by easily sending a card or personalized gift to anyone. Prior to that, a little bit of history with Joe. He was the COO and CMO of SendOutCards, which I'm sure a lot of you listening to this podcast are familiar with and will be very interested in hearing what Joe is doing with this newest entrepreneurial venture. Dude, we're going to get into relationship marketing. We're getting into referral generation. We're going to get into
You guys
some
are not going to be
energy.
able to tell the difference between Luke speaking, Joe speaking, or Josh speaking. They're all speaking the same language. The same language, man. That's the language of love. No, I'm just kidding. That's the language of relationships that drive referrals, which is ultimately love, baby.
Welcome to the podcast, Joe. Good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm ready to bring up. I got game, man. I'm ready to bring it.
Joe, man, it is awesome to have you, man. Introduce yourself to the audience. I want you to tell your story because obviously you were a part of taking SendOutCards to a huge level, and then you've ventured off and started to do this entrepreneurship journey. I know you mentioned when we first met you that you have a love for entrepreneurs. And truthfully, guys, if you're listening to this podcast, you know, we just hit over 40,000 downloads and just thankful for everybody who listens to it. But if you don't know it, you're an entrepreneur, man. When you jump into real estate, when you jump into finance or insurance, like
if you make $0 unless you sell something, you're
an entrepreneur. So I want you to give a kind of insight into what your journey has been, why you've now branched off on your own, and really what your passion is these days, what you're trying to do. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Awesome. Thank you. Joe Kenemore, CEO of BannerSeason. Like you said, I've been around the block a few times, man. I'm in my 50s now. I've seen a few things.
Dude, you look like you're 20.
I know it's probably hard for you guys to believe, but I started in the military. I mean, like the very last place in the world I should have ever been. But I did. I really enjoyed it. United States Navy. Right on.
Thank you for your service.
No, it was awesome. I would do it again for sure. I got out of the military and I really didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't find out I was unemployable till about, maybe 10 years later. Worked a few jobs and went, wow, this is totally not for me. I can't do this anymore. I've got to go do my own thing. Hence the entrepreneur. And my love for entrepreneur, that's where it really came from. I started a small business and kind of went, wow, there's so much to do here. It's not just, technology and marketing and sales and, managing people and just getting jobs done. That entrepreneurial spirit has been so coursing through my veins my whole life. I just didn't really know it. By the time I figured it out, I'm like, holy crap, people get out of my way because it's time for Joe to go have some fun and make some money and make some people happy. But I went through the course and, I went through the ropes. I came from more of a marketing background, communication in the military, got out of the military, went to work for a software company, did special effects, 3D animation. I loved that stuff, hits the artist in me, in a big way. Learned a lot about software and how to not develop software and lose a client base pretty quick. I went from there to a network marketing company, managed all their electronic media and just started playing around, in that space and really understanding that space and understanding what relationships were all about. Because in network marketing, that's what it was all about. It was about a relationship. So for me, I just gained huge insight there. And of course, I went to my last job. I worked for Encore Productions in Las Vegas, Nevada as an executive producer.
That's not a bad gig.
And really just it was not a bad gig.
Wait, is that Encore Beach Club? Is that the Encore Beach Club, or am I thinking of something different?
Not quite.
Okay, so you weren't that lucky. I take it back. I don't know what you were doing.
Yeah, I wasn't. No, not that lucky at all. The view was not near as nice. That's for dang sure. So, but I did learn a lot. Had a great time, honed some of my management skills, some of my business skills, and just finally went, Joe, you're done, bro. You cannot be an employee anymore. You cannot walk into the same box every day. You cannot have somebody telling you how long you get for vacation, when you can go on vacation, how much you're going to get paid, and how shitty your benefits are going to be. It's just like, no, I'm out. Yeah, I got to go. And I did, and I did really, really well. I started my own company, Cash Media Works. And that company is still in existence today. It's going to have its best year ever this year under the tutelage of my brother, which is just a phenomenal gig to have him doing that. But really, that business really dealt with marketing. And getting people's attention, just on a big scale with 10 and 15, 20,000 people in an arena or a room. And that's what it boiled down to, is marketing, in a different space, so to speak. But I found SendOutCards there. They called me and basically said, hey, and one of them used to work for that network marketing company I worked for. And they just said, hey, we got some issues over here. We'd like your help. And I came over and did a couple video projects for them, really learned the kind of ropes of what they were doing. Really got a good understanding. I never stopped using the product from that point forward. I'm like, holy geez, yeah, I really get this. If I want somebody's attention, I know how to get it right now, for sure. Which is what a lot of people are missing in business, and what a lot of entrepreneurs are missing, that scarcity mindset, versus abundance. Not understanding how to create a relationship, or scared to pick up the phone because the thing weighs 50,000 pounds. You know what I mean? I can't pick it up. It's too heavy. Don't make me make phone calls all day, because that would just kill me.
I love you, man.
But it's true. As an entrepreneur, you got to get off your keister and just go do something. That's what it's all about. Just do something, and don't go recreating any wheels. You know what I mean? Go with proven tactics and systems and just go make it work. That's where I'm at.
So tell us a little bit about what BannerSeason is doing now. This is something that you started about a year ago? Year and a half ago?
January 1, BannerSeason opened its doors for new customers and new affiliates. And we have been doing phenomenally well ever since. Our best month is going to be this July. Which is just shocking to me as a business owner. Summer months are like, everybody's on vacation. Nobody cares about business. And I'm sitting back at the office going, well, I care. Where is everybody? Do you want to come out and find you guys on vacation and drag you back? What's going on here?
And you guys are sending out personalized gifts. So these are things like, you sent us a little care box, actually, and there was...
Dude, the brownies were off the hook.
There are these brownies, man.
They were almost too good.
That's
that I had to throw away like a quarter of it because I felt bad.
You're weak, Luke.
I was going to throw away half of the brownie, and this is a great testimonial for you. I was going to throw away half, but I just needed one more bite. So I threw away.
No, but these brownies were like personalized with the Facebook photo of my family on there. Such a cool little idea.
Well, let me tell you tell your audience kind of what BannerSeason is. Yeah. BannerSeason is a customer engagement platform that specializes in helping entrepreneurs with referrals, retention, and relationships. There's a few other R's I can throw out at you, like ROI and recognition, which are really big deals as well. But those three are what we really, really focus on. Our core business is helping those get the referrals they've never gotten, retain what they already have, and help them with new relationships. This is a struggle for every entrepreneur, and I don't care what business you're in. Yep. It's just a struggle because there's a mental block, about appreciation marketing, appreciating others. And what can happen if you do that? It still boggles my mind that, I'll give a real estate agent. I've purchased 8 homes in my lifetime. I have yet to hear back from one realtor, not one. And one of these was a really expensive home. And I'm like, how could they not call me back? I'm not an asshole. I'm kind of a nice guy, really. I even probably sent them a card and a gift. But to not hear back from them just means I'm going to go with the next person next time.
That's freaking nuts.
And in this today's day and age in realty, there are nationwide, realtors that can play in any space. And I'm like, well, why are they not calling me? What's going on? And I'm like, well, I figured it out. They really suck at it. And those are the people I'm here to help. My heart of hearts, I want to help them not struggle. I struggled. And I don't want people to struggle like I did. This is not complicated. It's really easy to get create new relationships. It's easy to retain the customers you have, and it's easy to get referrals from the existing business you have. As a matter of fact, it's a whole lot easier to get referrals from who you have than it is to get new business.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think what happens to people is twofold. One is it's not instant gratification. So the client appreciation game is not instant gratification. So that's what makes it hard. But I think the real struggle is a lot of these people, and maybe even the people listening to this podcast, they're struggling to make it, right? So the average realtor is making like 41,000, I think 41.8 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So they're struggling to make it. And so they just get consumed chasing the next transaction. And they don't realize that everything they need, what was you saying? Everything you need for your next transaction is literally in the transaction you've already had.
Yeah. I said it more.
Yeah, you probably said it more eloquently. But
it probably rhymed or had alliteration.
It probably did, knowing you and your marketing. But that's the problem. The problem is, because I know in the journey of the real estate agents that I've had the privilege of coaching, they get so, after they sell Joe the home, they're like,
who's next?
Yeah, who's next? Because that $3,000 commission check they got for the home, or $6,000, whatever it is, guess what? That's to pay off the credit card bills.
To eat.
And to eat for the money they didn't have during the months they went without selling a home. And they get so consumed with chasing the deal into that mindset of scarcity that you mentioned. And they don't realize that if you just breathe for a second, the data in real estate alone shows that literally one of every 2 deals, guess where it comes from? Referrals and repeat business. Like one of every 2 homes sold in real estate, according to the National Association of Realtors last year, the transactions were sourced from people using the agent they used last time or a referral. So it's insane. So literally, if you want the best shot, if you go to Vegas and you gamble, are you going to gamble in the place you have the most chance to get the return on investment? Of course you are. So why don't you do that in your own business? It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Right. No, it boggles my mind that somebody wouldn't get into their QuickBooks, export a list of customers they've done business with in the last year, and go, wow, look at this. Maybe these are the folks I want to go after, or have a discussion with, or maybe just thank them for their business alone would put them at top of mind and go, wow, if I needed somebody like that again, I'm calling that guy or that gal.
So what is your strategy? You said that you have a platform. So kind of talk about, obviously what you guys do, but then just in general, like what do you recommend to people? This follow-up process. You mentioned you've had 8 realtors. Not one of them has called you or been in contact with you after the transaction. Do you lay out like a touch point calendar or a certain, like tactically, what are you coaching your clients to do?
Yeah, absolutely. And really, the best way to think about banner season is this. Have you ever had a drip campaign in your mailbox, in your inbox, your email? Mm-hmm. You see these coming, and it's kind of a series of emails.
Right. Yes.
Banner season is that with physical products and high touch. So it could be just a greeting card. It could be a greeting card with a Starbucks card in it. It could be a greeting card with a set of 4 brownies. Could be a huge gigagram, which is one of our huge oversized greeting cards. With cake bites. It really could go across the board and really be anything. So what we've done is, for realtors, for instance, we have taken and created something that works for anybody. I don't care if you're the 5%er in the corner office and you're doing 20 or 40 deals a month and making more money than you could spend, or you're the person who just got started and just needs to pretty much figure out, how do I keep people top of mind when they say real estate, or I want to make a purchase or sell my home, that their hand goes up and I know somebody, you got to talk to them. That's what I'm really trying to accomplish. So these marketing campaigns that we have created by some ad agency level folks, writers and designers that understand that market very well. They started with the simplicity of, hey, what if we just wanted to touch somebody 4 times a year? So 1 greeting card a quarter that just reaches out to that customer you've done business with that says, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, just touching base, or maybe something educational for their home. It's the summer, beginning of summer, it's time to get your pool, your pool going and get your chemicals going again, or clean your air filters, or, whatever. Might be educational. Might be inspirational. It doesn't matter. It's a touch. As long as you are not going, hey, come buy from me. That's kind of what you want to avoid. You just want to reach out and touch them. That's it. And not do it in their inbox. I think there's a place for the email. Mm-hmm. But I also know with my platform, if I want somebody's attention, I can get it. Mm. I know that's not true of email in an inbox. That's just a fact. When you start looking at the open rate of a package that I send to somebody's mailbox, it's 100%. When I start looking about open rate of an email, It's 11%.
Yeah, right.
So let's just talk strategy for a minute. Do you want to talk to somebody or don't you? If you really want to have a relationship with somebody, you want to talk to them, I have a platform and I can get you there. And I don't care who it is. If somebody hadn't called you back in 10 months, I got a couple of specialty cards up my sleeve. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got that one where I bound and gagged a teddy bear and it says, call me or the bear gets it. It's worked every damn time.
Dude, that is a golden nugget right there. I'm going to have to try that.
Every time, man.
Dude, that just sounds kind of creepy.
You get somebody laughing,
Gag
you know what I mean?
teddy
Your
bear.
stuff, they're going to pick up the phone and call you.
Hashtag
Okay,
gag a teddy bear.
I'm done.
Dude, well, I think you're touching on a psychological thing, which is, and this is what we teach all the time. That's why I think we hit it off so well, because we really have a similar foundation when it comes to beliefs and principles. It's the idea of creating impact. What people miss all the time in marketing is you have two veins of marketing. You have what I call lottery marketing and impact-based marketing, right? Lottery marketing is you send a postcard. There's nothing wrong with it, but it has, 0.03% chance of getting response or whatever it is. It has a 5 to 8 second shelf life. People glance at it. If it doesn't hit them at the exact right time where they're in the buying mode for whatever on the postcard, they toss it. It's very much like buying the numbers on the lottery. And if you don't win, you wasted your $5 and you toss the lottery ticket. That's okay. And it does serve a purpose. And it's not that it's wrong to do, but it's just that it should be used strategically for certain types of marketing. I always say you should do that when you're farming, if you're a real estate agent, when you're going out there and you're
nurturing a new lead.
Yeah, you're prospecting for anonymous people to try to funnel people in. It's like the top of your funnel, and you're trying to funnel them down. Then you get to impact-based marketing, which impact-based marketing is what you're talking about, which is getting people to feel something. Because if you can make an impact with them, people remember how you make them feel, not what you say. It's all about creating that mind share. They're impacted, so they remember you more. And then I always say impact leads to advocacy, because it triggers what we like to call as reciprocity, where literally you are doing, if you send brownies to me with my face on it, might be terrifying. But when I eat that brownie, because I did, and I'm just like, this is a freaking good brownie that Joe sent me. Now I associate Joe with the nice, beautiful brownie.
That's dude, that's exactly what it is. It's creating the association between the good feeling and the person that gave you that good feeling.
And guess 100%. Guess what I want to do now? I want to reciprocate back to Joe. I want to thank Joe. Most of the time, it's through a phone call to say thanks, or it's through a letter to say thanks. But if you train them as a business person to know, I would love your referrals, and you start training them almost like you train your dogs when you give them a treat. Yeah, the Pavlovian. Yeah. That's the key. That's the psychological.
Here's a brownie, give me a referral. Here's a brownie, give me a referral. I like that.
Dude, that's not a bad. Joe, if you want to send me brownies every month for referrals,
Dude, hold on.
Yeah, he's writing that down. But that's what you're doing. That is literally what you're doing. And that's why most people don't do it, because in its essence, it's not instant gratification. A lot of times when you reach out and ask for a referral, you're not going to get one, but it's purely to plant the seed. The second time you send the brownie, you're not getting one, but you watered the seed. Third time you send the brownie, guess what? You get a little sprout coming up. Maybe you don't get one either until that apple tree just grows and you pick that apple and it's nice and juicy. And that great referral comes. So that was a long, drawn-out analogy, ladies and gentlemen, but I hope that resonated with you. I went from brownies to apples, and Andrew is back in the back over there saying, man, I'm hungry.
Plant a brownie, grow an apple tree. I think that was the moral.
I guess I should have some more brownies for today, huh?
Yeah.
Holy jeez. I do love your, I've poked around on your site enough and kind of understand, where you guys are at, and you have a very impactful product. I'm the guy who watches infomercials on purpose. I'm the guy who goes through every single piece of mail on purpose.
Amen.
I want to see what people are doing. What are they sending? I see those postcards, and sometimes it's just trash. Sometimes I'm looking at every single piece.
Yep.
And what called a marketing impression. That brand, my face, through a postcard. They may not read it, but there is an association there. Like, I'm not knocking a postcard. I'm not knocking email. I'm just saying when it really matters.
Yep.
When it really matters, it's time to use something impactful, like your product or my product.
So when
you're going to get their attention.
When is it impactful in your mind? Like, when should you do that in your mind? As you kind of worked with the clients that you have now and you look at your history, when would you encourage agents to utilize your product that you're seeing working?
It's so cost effective. It's an immediate thing. It is somebody from day one. I don't care if you just want to collect birthdays and just send them a birthday card. At least that's one high touch that you were capable of doing for less than $2. I mean, if you can do that, you've started that process. For me, I use it every day. I meet new people. I have triggers set up on my phone. I don't have to log on to a system to do this. I just log onto my phone and put their name and address in, and I tag it, nice to meet you, and it automatically sends a card and a gift out.
How fast is the turnaround?
It's immediate. Well, it's immediate. I mean, the order goes in immediately and it gets printed and shipped the next day.
Okay. So I'm just thinking, like, for the audience, like, if you do a listing presentation, could I have brownies delivered to that house literally in like a couple days from the time
usually it's about 3 days. It's about the max.
Yeah. Think about that.
Yeah. Sometimes
that's a great first impression.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. You start linking events in a specific vertical market like real estate and start linking events to our system. All of a sudden, you're really going to start winning. Or just being able to trigger something from your phone. Like you said, you got a new listing and boom, you just go new listing and done, you tagged and done and out the door. You don't have to really go do anything. It just shows up in a couple of days.
I keep mentioning the brownies. What are some of the other products? Like give the people some idea of the other products.
We have quite a good offering, and we created the offering based on a lot of different marketing campaigns that we have. We have a tape measure, but it kind of is associated with a card that goes out. It's a third card in a sequence that says, how do we measure up?
Oh, that's
good, that
man.
Tape measure actually has the realtor's logo on it and the person who purchased the home's name on it.
Yeah.
So we know it'll never get thrown away. But, it's associated with a message that says, how did we measure up? And it actually asks for referrals.
Yeah, that's clever.
That card actually, here's a gift. And by the way, we like referrals. So if you hear of anybody who's looking to buy a home or sell their home, please, give us the referral or call us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Golf balls. We have food
the
items
golf balls,
the golf balls. Did I send you guys some golf balls?
Yeah. So it was great. It had our logo on it. And then on the back, it said, I'm not lost. I'm just hiding from Joshua Stike.
What's your golf game?
It's just funny.
What's your golf game?
I'm sorry?
Like, what do you shoot in golf? I don't even know if that's what you call it. I call it like
it's triple digits.
Triple digits?
Yeah, dude. It's like golf, 120.
Yeah, I played golf for the first time. I stopped counting after I hit 118. I stopped counting.
There you go.
I think I do the 10-stroke limit on the green. It's like if I'm over 10 strokes on the green, I just pick it up.
I realize why people love the game of golf because it is frustrating.
It's so much fun.
Frustrating.
So much fun.
I mean,
you get obsessed with mastering.
I get the joke. I'm hiding from Josh Stike. I think I lost like 20 balls that day.
Sorry, I cut you off, Joe.
Sorry, Joe. I'm just tangential today.
No, you're totally good. I have tons of food items. I probably have 30 food items alone. Brownies and cake bites are the two most popular ones, or celebration bars. I've got gluten-free kosher products.
So why don't people use it? Why don't, and here's what I mean by that question. It seems like a no-brainer. Super easy to send somebody brownies. Like, what would it cost me to send Josh a couple brownies after a listing presentation? Right. What's like the average cost? Is it $6, $10? What's the average cost?
I think the brownies are like $5 for a couple of brownies.
$5 to make an incredible
impression. Plus a card and then the shipping, and you're out the door. I mean, nothing crazy.
So why aren't people doing it? Is it an education? And I don't mean your company. I mean, why aren't real estate agents?
We see it all day.
Yeah,
why
aren't people taking action? Is it because it's too hard? They think it's going to be too hard to implement? What is it that you see that's causing people not to do it?
Yeah, the stumbling blocks I see with every entrepreneur is this. I'm so busy out trying to find my next deal. I can't see past here. These are my next deals. Once I open this up and I can see beyond that, I can start thinking about appreciation marketing. I can start thinking about what does it take to create a new relationship? Meeting somebody and sending them something, without any expectation in return is just such a big deal. In this marketing space, I see all these sales folks that are constantly just out beating bushes and doing these things that, like we had just said earlier, there's so much gold right there in your own backyard, in your own QuickBooks, in your own Rolodex, so to speak, that all you got to do is open it up and start using it, and start picking and choosing who you want to communicate with, who do you want a relationship with today, that you didn't have yesterday. It's simple to think about, but difficult in respect that, you're chasing a deal and in real estate, geez, how many training programs are there for real estate agents? Good Lord. I mean, there's got to be thousands of people sending you this direction. You know what I mean? So, from day to day, they don't know whether they're supposed to be doing emails, out putting up yard signs, or making personal phone calls, or going to church.
Yeah, it's starting a lot of stuff and not following through, not finishing, not seeing it all the way through to that time that type of marketing needs to play out. There's a presentation to kind of it's an analogy that you gave us to show like the impact of a gift, right? And I think like during your presentation, you would have, correct me if I'm wrong, but you would have two people you tell the story. You would have two people stand up on stage with you.
Yeah. So I did a presentation about 3 months ago, and it was to a network marketing company that their whole user base, we set up their own shopping cart and put their products in the shopping cart, so they were able to send samples of their product out. And what I did is I was trying to teach a simple lesson. So I took two people from the audience beforehand. They didn't know that I was choosing them. I had the owner of the company choose them. And I literally went onto their Facebook pages and unfriended them. And I found pictures of them and their kids and them working and, just all this stuff. And what I did is I created, for both of them, I created about 10 different gifts in packages with cards and the messages and the whole thing. It took me a little bit of effort, but the effort was worth it based on this. I took these two people at the show and I asked them to sit on stage. I put one stage right and one stage left. They were about 20 feet apart. And during my 30-minute presentation, I had a gift every 2 to 3 minutes delivered to one of those two, and the other one got absolutely nothing. And I can't tell you how bad I felt for the person who got nothing. I mean, it got me as the presenter.
So
I'm like,
powerful.
holy crap. I'm doing what I just sit here and did to somebody what I'm telling everybody not to do. But, the other person who got the gifts, I mean, literally tears. I took a picture of her and her two boys. And, with the card, I typed a message that says, hey, these two beautiful strapping young men, I'm sure you're certainly proud of them. But, it brought her to tears on stage in front of everybody. And it was a clear message that, if you're going to communicate, do it right. Don't send them an email and expect them to open it up and feel anything. Who's it? Maya Angelou, that statement. It doesn't matter, what you say or do, it's how you make someone feel. And that couldn't be truer in our business. That's what we do. It's, we make people feel things.
It's even more critical today when you think of technology is automating so many things. Even more, you have to stand out, be unique, be different, show people. And I always think in the real estate space, in the insurance space, financial advisor space, it literally is that service level, that special touch level, that relationship level. Because at a certain point, there's a lot of people that can sell your home. There's a lot of services out there. And so it's literally how good of a connection you have with that person. That's really the game we're in today. So if you're not shifting to that game when you're listening to this podcast, it's time to start shifting. If you want to be around, who did I listen to? I forget who told me this, but I was reading an article or someone told me basically a big person in real estate said, if you have not built your database, it's already too late. Like where we're at in the industry today, if you have not nurtured and built your relationships, it's already too late. Now, I think that's doom and gloom. I don't really believe that.
Right.
But the point being made is that, dude,
what's the emphasis on the database, the value of your database? Yeah.
It's changing fast right now. And if you're not focused on the relationship game, you will not be there, because with the iBuyers popping up in the real estate market, all the discounted services, everything like that, it's about relationships. Build the relationships and people do business with people they know, like, and trust. That's the simplicity of it.
It is. And everything's changing so fast. And there's all of us, that are 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. We came from that industrial age. It had nothing to do with information. We are clearly in the information age now, and it's time, to start managing your information, managing those lists, those things that you have that are important, because it's not about making widgets anymore.
Right.
It's about making relationships. It's about, who we do business with and why we do business with them, and, reciprocating with referrals. I love referrals. It's so funny. I work with a lot of people and I give referrals all the time. And oh, hey, did you want to get paid for that? No, I want one thing. I want you to take care of that person I sent to you with kid gloves and make sure they're smiling at the end, because that's why I sent them to you. I trusted you. Yep. That's it.
Powerful.
That's the whole deal. And, it's simple that way. And I appreciate people who do the same with me. Not that I mind, spiffing somebody back something, as well, but, I'm just saying in general, let's just go do the real deal is just take care of that person. I referred them because I trusted you.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So Joe, we ask everyone on the podcast that we have on, we ask them kind of a couple questions at the end. So I'm curious from your perspective, because you definitely, you're running a business, you have multiple employees, you have a whole operation there that you're running. What are 2 to 3 things that you're doing on a daily basis? Obviously, part of that's going to be networking and building the relationships. What are a few things that you're doing every day that's really contributing to your success as a business owner, as someone who's in this relationship marketing game?
Good question. I got to tell you, I really like keeping my fingers on the pulse of what's going on, whether it be the customers or my affiliates. I think that is such a big deal that a lot of companies miss, a lot of entrepreneurs miss. They think they're Steve Jobs. They're going to deliver, what people need. And, unfortunately, not all of us are as clairvoyant as he was. You know what I mean? We're not that smart. We just don't, that whole ready, fire, aim thing. It happens to a lot of companies. Hell, it's happened to me a few times.
Right.
And, you got to step back and you got to go, what's important is what the customers think, what these affiliates think. They're the ones using it every day. Not that I'm not, but, you got to stare at it. They're using it for the purposes that it was intended to be used for. Right. And that's where I really feel like, BannerSeason is winning, and that's why we're growing month over month, because we got some big ass ears over here. We're listening all the time. I don't care if it's a chat box or people just want to call me. We're still small enough where I'm totally accessible to everybody. I'll do a 3-way call with anybody in 2 seconds. Let's do it. Yeah. I want to teach. Teaching is a big deal too. Teaching our core values, who we are, what we represent, and making sure people understand just, that's what it is. And it's not getting bastardized or lost in the process. It's not about money.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's about helping that entrepreneur with referrals, retention, and new relationships. And, some of them it's recognition and ROI and a few other things. But, that's where my heart is. I just want to help those struggling entrepreneurs and just stop struggling and open your mind for a minute and start appreciating what you have in the relationships that you have, and create new ones, and make sure those people understand that you appreciate them. Yeah. Because once you've gone down that road, you can't go back. You can never, ever, you can't do a U-turn and just go, nope, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this anymore. It's over. When you have relationships like that in business, these are friends now. It's not just, I'm doing business with you. We're doing dinner when I come to Vegas, right? I'm like, oh, hell yeah, we are. Yeah, definitely. Did you want to go to the Panavino where we were before, or try something new?
Well, you hit on such an important thing there in your first one, and that's listening to your clients, listening to your advocates or your affiliate, as you said. I mean, it's such a tempting thing to do, and I've had this exact same problem in our business where we are the expert, right? We know, we live, we eat, we breathe this stuff, so we think we know what people need. We know best for our clients. We know what kind of content they want. We know what kind of designs they want. And then when you do the work to go out and find out and ask the clients, what is it that you're craving? What is it that you want? And you get information back that's sometimes the complete opposite of what we were doing. Man, that's convicting. And you figure it out real quick that you started a business to solve other people's problems, right? That's how you grow and how you actually start to earn and build that loyal client base. And so that's kind of what I heard there from what you were saying. So tell me, what would you go back and tell younger Joe? If you could go back and speak to younger Joe, setting off in your career, early years, what would you warn him about? What would you tell him to do more of?
The younger Joe was a very pragmatic version of what you're looking at right now.
Really?
Pragmatic in the fact that I would step on toes to just get a job done, didn't care. Let's go. I'm blowing and going. And I think if I were to go talk to younger Joe, I'd just like, relationships matter a whole lot more, in business, and they're forever. I really, truly, you look back at my relationships in business. I really feel like I've been, I don't want to call this, I don't want to sound boastful, but I've meant an increase in most of the people I've done business with in their lives in one form or another. And I always felt that was such a great feeling to have, that I could help somebody, I could uplift them somehow, whether it be information or they came to work for me and it was monetary. It just felt good to have that, in place. And I didn't learn that until way too damn late in life. You know what I mean? I think I was probably 40 before I went, ting, in the relationship thing, ting, okay, yeah. I don't know how you teach somebody in their 20s, you know what I mean? It's like hard charging 20-something-year-old that ain't stopping for nothing and he knows exactly where he's going. Yeah, how do you stop that guy and tell him, come back? You need to pay attention to the relationships, bro. That's where it's at. It just doesn't, I don't know if I would have listened. But, if I could go back and make a change, I would certainly be right down that road with, relationships and being cognizant of what you're bringing into people's lives. Are you bringing an increase in any way, shape or form, whether it be love or inspiration or monetarily? It just doesn't matter. Bring something to their lives.
That's fantastic.
Powerful stuff, man. Well, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. Before we close out, tell people how they can find out more about BannerSeason, connect with you.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, if people want to use our platform or at least check our platform out, it's at BannerSeason.com. You do need a referral code to actually use BannerSeason. That's the type of business model we are. And the referral code that all of your users can use is Remindermedia, all one word, Remindermedia. That will get you an account. And there's free accounts and paid accounts. Just try one. Check it out. Like I said, it's a customer engagement platform, fun to play with. You want to contact me, pretty simple. Just send me an email. Reach out to me on Facebook. I don't care. Yell from the rooftops. If I hear you, I'll come running. I'm hungry.
You willing to give out your email address on the air?
Sure. Joe at BannerSeason.com.
Beautiful, man. Well, thanks again so much for being here. We'll put all those links in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening. If you liked what you heard today here on Stay Paid, head on over to iTunes, throw us a 5-star rating, leave a comment, and please make sure to let someone else know about the podcast. It really helps us out. You can find this podcast, among all of our podcasts, in video on staypaidpodcast.com. And you can also get hold of me or Luke. You can email us at podcast@remindermedia.com, or you can check us out on Instagram at staypaidpodcast. Go on over there. Give us a follow. We have a lot more downloads than we have followers, man. We just crossed it. I don't know if you said this at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah,
we hit 40,000 downloads.
I think I did. Yeah, 40,000. Yeah,
so thank you so much for listening. And of course, you can always check out Reminder Media on social media. We are at Reminder Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Joshua Stike.
Guys, and I'm Luke Acree, and the action item for this podcast is take your list of clients, print out your list of clients, and find out, do you have their birthday? And get their birthday, and then do something special for them on their birthday. Send them a nice card, go to BannerSeason, send them a box of brownies. Do something for your clients on their birthday. It's a simple touch point, and now you have one out of the many touch points you need to be doing a year with a client, and it's really simple. Now remember, the difference between a top producer and a mediocre producer in any industry is a top producer is not just going to listen to what I just said. They're going to actually take action on it. So take action on that today. Woo!